In the heart of Umune village lived a man who believed life owed him comfort, yet did nothing to earn it. His name was Ejike. While the world around him worked, sweated, and pushed forward, Ejike slept through opportunities and blamed everyone but himself. But the day life finally demanded accountability, everything changed. This is the unforgettable story of the lazy husband whose world collapsed, reshaped him, and rebuilt his destiny. Before we dive into this powerful story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more incredible African stories. Ejike Nwosu was known across Umune for one thing: sleep. Not farming, not trading, not responsibility. Just sleep. Morning, he slept. Afternoon, he napped. Night, he snored like a rusted generator. His wife Adeora was the opposite, a hard-working, soft-spoken woman who woke before the sun, swept their compound, cooked, fetched water, and ran a small provision shop at the junction. People often asked her, "Adeora, why did you marry Ejike?" She always smiled sadly. He wasn't like this before. And it was true. Once upon a time, Ejike had dreams. Big dreams. He wanted to open a furniture workshop. He wanted to be successful. He wanted to give Adeora a beautiful life. But somewhere along the way, the dreams faded, replaced by excuses. Anytime Adeora urged him to work, he responded with a dramatic sigh. Adeora, allow me to rest small. The world will not end." But sometimes, Adeora wondered if the world truly would end. Because the bills certainly didn't. She paid rent. She paid for food. She paid for repairs. She held the entire household on her back while her husband watched from the shade of the mango tree. Still she stayed loyal. Until the day everything changed. One humid afternoon, Adeora returned from her shop exhausted. She found Ejike lying in the one spot he always occupied, under the mango tree, chewing groundnuts. "Ejike, did you repair the leaking roof like I asked?" He stretched lazily. Adeora, the heat was too much today." "What about the landlord's message?" "He said he's coming for the rent." Ejike waved dismissively. "Don't worry, you'll sort it out." That was the day Adeora truly realized. Ejike didn't see her as a partner. He saw her as a solution to his laziness. That night, as heavy rain poured, the leaking roof finally collapsed. Water flooded their bedroom, their mattress soaked, their clothes ruined. Adeora sat in the dark, crying softly. "Ejike." He was snoring on the dry part of the floor. The next morning, the landlord arrived. "Madam Adeora, we've been patient. Pay the rent before the week ends or pack out." Ejike quickly pretended to cough like he was sick to avoid the conversation. The landlord shook his head. "Adeora, you are a hard-working woman, but your husband, Then came the final blow. An elderly neighbor, Mama Ifyinanya, pulled Adeora aside. "My daughter, you are killing yourself. That man will not change by comfort. Sometimes life must shake someone before they wake." Adeora stood silently, her heart heavy. That night she made a decision. By morning, Adeora packed her few personal belongings. Just a small bag, nothing more. Ejike stumbled out of the house rubbing his eyes. "Adeora, where are you going?" Her voice was calm but firm. "Ejike, I love you, but I cannot carry both you and this marriage alone." He blinked. He wasn't used to responsibility confronting him. "Adeora, don't joke like this. I'm staying with my sister for a while," she said. "When you are ready to be a husband, find me." She walked away without looking back. Ejike felt his chest tighten. Fear. Real fear for the first time. For years he believed Adeora would never leave. That she would tolerate everything. That she would always be there. But now, silence swallowed their compound. No breakfast smell. No sweeping sounds. No soft voice calling his name. Just emptiness. By the third day the house was a mess. No cooked food. No clean clothes. No running errands. And then the landlord returned. "Where is your wife? She always pays. Bring the rent today." Ejike stammered. I don't have it. She traveled. Then pack out. Ejike's heart dropped. He had nowhere to go. No money. No plan. For the first time in years. He cried. The news of Ejike's failure spread through Umune village faster than dry season wildfire. For weeks, nothing made sense to him. Everywhere he went, whispers trailed his steps like stubborn shadows. That is the man whose laziness ruined his home. He drove his wife into hardship. If not for Adana's strength, the children would have starved. Even children giggled behind their palms whenever he passed. That humiliation pierced deeper than spears. But Ejike's fall wasn't sudden. It was years in the making. His farm was overrun with weeds taller than a child. His tools were rusted. His stored grains had spoiled from neglect. And because he had borrowed seeds and money from half the village, creditors now knocked on his door daily. One morning, old Mama Ebra came to collect the 5,000 Nigerian nairas he owed her for 2 years. Ejike opened the door slowly. "Mama, please. Give me small time." The old woman shook her head. "My son, I am not your enemy. I only want what is mine. Please do better." Her voice wasn't harsh. It was the disappointment that broke him. As she walked away, Ejike slumped against the doorframe, feeling like the whole sky rested on his back. He had never truly seen himself, not until now. The real blow came when Adana, exhausted but determined, decided to return to her tailoring work full-time. She no longer asked him for help. She no longer told him her plans. She no longer shared her burdens with him. Nothing pained him more than hearing her voice float from the kitchen one evening. "Children, do not disturb your father. He is resting." Resting. The same word that once made him feel comfortable now felt like poison. He saw the truth now. Adana wasn't being sarcastic. She wasn't shouting. She wasn't angry. She was defeated. She had stopped expecting anything from him. That night, Ejike lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling. The moonlight crawled through the window, highlighting the cracks on the wall. Cracks he once promised to fix. Adana had given everything. Her youth, her strength, her dreams. And what had he given in return? Excuses, blame. He finally sat up, feeling something he had not felt in years, urgency. For the first time in his adult life, Ejike rose before dawn the next morning. He picked up his hoe, arms trembling from lack of use, and walked to his abandoned farm. Dew clung to the grass like silver beads. Birds chirped. The sky was still deep purple. Should have been peaceful. But standing before his ruined farmland, Ejike's knees weakened. How did he let things get this bad? A young boy, Okechukwu, passed by carrying firewood. "Uncle Ejike, are you farming today?" The innocence of the question stung. "Yes," Ejike managed. Okechukwu's eyes widened with shock. "You, farming? Today is a good day, oh." He dashed away laughing. Humiliation, however bitter, sometimes wakes a man faster than wisdom. Ejike gripped the hoe, swallowed his shame, and forced himself to work. One row, then another, and another. His palms burned. His back screamed. Sweat drenched him like rain. But for the first time in years, he felt alive. Yet as the sun rose high and the villagers passed by greeting him with surprise, Ejike realized the painful truth. Redeeming yourself takes more than one morning of effort. Takes consistency, strength, change from the inside. And he wasn't sure he had enough left in him. He dropped to his knees exhausted, and there, surrounded by weeds taller than hope, he made a quiet promise to himself. "I will not lose my family. Not again. Not like this." But life was not done testing him. Not yet. Because the biggest storm was still ahead. Days turned into weeks, and for the first time in his marriage, Ejike became the one chasing responsibility, not running from it. He woke up early. He worked late. He repaired what he could. He apologized to those he had wronged. He forced himself to face the weight of his past choices. But change is slow, and each day felt like climbing a mountain with stones tied to his legs. Some villagers encouraged him. Some mocked him. Some waited for him to fail. Yet Ejike kept going. It wasn't easy. His muscles ached constantly. He had no savings. His farm needed more hands than he could afford. And creditors still knocked on his door. But he pushed through every hardship because, for the first time, he understood the truth. A man becomes a husband not by title, but by effort. One day, he returned home to see Adana sitting outside, staring at the fading sunset. For weeks, she had watched him quietly, trying not to hope, trying not to believe too quickly. "Adana," he said, sitting beside her carefully. She didn't look at him. But she didn't walk away either. He took a deep breath, his voice trembling. "I failed you." Silence. "I failed our children." Still silence. "I failed myself." Adana finally turned her head. Her eyes were tired, but softer than before. "Ejike, people change when they choose to. Not when they are forced." "I choose to," he whispered. "Not for show. Not for pride. But because I want to be better. I want to stand beside you, not behind you." A single tear slipped down Adana's cheek. She didn't embrace him. She didn't kiss him. But she nodded. That was enough. The road ahead was long, but they would walk it together. Weeks later, Ejike's efforts bore fruit. Literally. The first harvest from his reclaimed farm shocked even him. Yams thicker than his arm. Vegetables fresh and vibrant. Cassava roots that promise profit. Villagers who mocked him before now came to congratulate him. Even the village chief called him aside one morning. "Ejike, you have surprised many of us. You have shown that a man who falls can stand again. Be proud." For the first time in years, Ejike felt something unfamiliar settle in his chest. Dignity. Not the fake one he once claimed. The real kind. The greatest moment came when his children ran to him after school. "Papa, Mama said you worked very hard today." Ejike lifted them with strong, calloused hands. Hands that once lay idle. Hands that now built instead of destroyed. "Papa is trying," he said softly. "Papa is doing well," his eldest corrected proudly. Adana watched from the doorway, smiling. Not the forced smile of someone carrying a household alone, but the gentle smile of a woman whose partner had finally returned home. Months passed. The house was repaired. Debts settled. The family laughed again. The marriage healed slowly, beautifully. One evening, Adana set a plate of food before him and said, "Ejike, thank you for coming back to us." He looked at her, tears filling his eyes. "Thank you for not giving up." She placed her hand over his. "You did the work. I only waited." And in the warm glow of the lantern, surrounded by the sounds of evening crickets, Ejike finally realized the lesson life had been trying to teach him all along. A man doesn't fall when he stumbles. He falls when he refuses to rise. And Ejike had risen. Not perfectly. Not instantly. But honestly. And that made all the difference.